This video is a product buyer's guide intended for gift givers and adult collectors. Hey guys, welcome to Toy Chat. This is Max.
And Sang.
We'd like to thank MGA for sending us these products for free. Today, we'll be checking out another new doll brand from MGA Entertainment, the creators of Rainbow High, LOL Surprise, and Bratz. By now, many of you have likely already heard of Mermaze Mermaidz, as the brand has already been quite active on social media, and all 5 core characters were debuted online by some of the biggest doll influencers. This series' theme centers around, of course, everyone's favorite seaborn fantasy creature. Mermaid's fins can change color in warm or cold water, but don't write them off as just another water play gimmick doll quite yet. Featuring glass inset eyes, applied lashes, premium fashion details, and over 6 points of articulation, these characters are dressed to impress both in and outside the water. Following the breakout success of Rainbow High and its juggernaut predecessor LOL Surprise, could Mermaze join the ranks of MGA's biggest hits that appeal to both kids and adult collectors alike? Stirring up plenty of buzz since they leaked ages ago, the doll community's interest was definitely piqued from the start. Now that they're becoming widely available, did they live up to the hype and ultimately that price point? Let's find out. In today's video, we'll be reviewing 2 of the new Mermaze characters, the bubbly cute Kishiko and hot pink pop star Harmonique. In addition to these 2, there are 3 other characters to collect: Rockstar Riviera, glamorous Shellnell, and the sporty Jordy. Before we quite literally dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss a moment of the honest adult collector perspective here on Toy Chat.
Although the Mermaid's launch experienced a slight delay in February, the dolls have since become available at both Walmart and Target. Max and I have in fact seen almost all these characters on Target shelves in our recent doll hunts. We noticed the price of Mermaids varies a bit by retailer. Our local Targets list the dolls at $31.99, but they're priced at $33.48 at Walmart.com. We'll display the UPC and Target DPCI numbers for Kishiko and Harmonique on screen here if you're on the hunt for them. Links to purchase them online will also be included in the description below. Alright, let's take a closer look at this brand's unique packaging. The thin boxes have a large rectangular opening off to the right side, allowing buyers to touch the articulated mermaid fin, which protrudes through the sealed interior. The water-based color change feature is highlighted on the upper right, while we get a clear view of the entire doll and her purse accessory in her window display. As we can see on the bottom, Mermaze is recommended for ages 4 and up, and glam shots of the real doll's faces are displayed alongside the glittery silver logo. On the back of the box, we get a closer look at all 5 characters in the debut series, and a description that reads, "Beyond the waves, beneath the surf, into the deep blue, follow the fabulous fins of Mermaze Mermaidz to discover something amazing." A blurb specific to the packaged character is on the very bottom. Harmonique's reads, "Pop star, performer, no spotlights enough," while Kishiko's reads, "Trendsetter who loves to glisten." As we can see here, a tab at the bottom can be pulled for easy unboxing. This is a complete tearaway packaging. It doesn't seem to be possible to preserve. Let's unbox them both for a closer look.
First up, we have our glamorous pop star Harmonique. Let's take a closer look at her face sculpt and makeup. Over her inset blue eyes and applied lashes, she wears sparkly cat-eye eyeshadow with a dusting of silver in the inner crease that transitions to a pale pink and topped off with a white outer liner. A slight highlight shimmer seems to glisten just beneath her eyes on her cheeks. She has very full lips finished with a shimmery nude gloss. This is a pretty striking face sculpt in person, but it might look a bit familiar to longtime MGA doll collectors. For those of you who recall Project MC Squared, which we also reviewed multiple times on this channel, mermaids' faces seem to be designed in a very similar light. Unfortunately, all of our actual MC Squared dolls are in storage, so we can't make direct comparisons here in person, but you can see the similarities from photos alone. Harmonique has a head-worn microphone. Its silver finish gives off an iridescent sheen. She also wears large sculpted pearly white earrings in each ear. 2 curled tendrils of hot pink hair cascade down the top of her head, and the remainder of her hair is a bright bubblegum pink, tied back into a bubble ponytail that goes all the way down to her fin. An iridescent silver hairband is at the base, and the remainder of the ponytail uses simple plastic ties. There are 6 in total, and although they're definitely thinner than the one at the base, they feel sturdier than usual flimsy plastic hair ties. This hair is extremely soft with no product to speak of. You may notice, however, that she lacks the braids shown in her promo images. An included insert, however, contains instructions on how to style those yourself. Do with that information what you will. Harmonique wears a silver-studded pink choker around her neck with a sculpted heart at the center. The entire accessory gives off a sparkly sheen. Her fashions kick off with a slightly sheer, puffed shoulder crop top. The bust section is hot pink, with the billowing sleeves being a shade lighter. This piece seems likely to have borrowed inspiration from a similar outfit fellow pop star Ariana Grande wore during her 2019 Sweetener tour. Harmonique's wrist is decorated with several silver and pink statement bracelets that cannot be removed. They're sculpted to her body. A series of silver rings are sculpted over 4 of her right-hand fingers as well. The puffy top is paired with a metallic hot pink bodice decorated with iridescent rhinestones. A metallic harness belt in the same color, which is its own separate piece, goes over the top. Both the bodice and the belt open in the back with Velcro. There's another matching accessory just below that, looking like a decorative strappy waist bag with dangling silver bead attachments. A second strap below has its own Velcro closure. Beneath this, we can take a closer look at her mermaid tail, which is a single solid piece and feels a bit more hollow and lightweight than you might assume at first glance. It's sculpted into angular patterns and covered in metallic ombre magenta to indigo paint. Her fin is a separate articulated piece, mostly hot pink with metallic silver at the edges. We'll take a closer look at her color change and articulation details a little later, so stay tuned for that. Harmonique comes with just one additional accessory, a sparkly translucent pink purse with silver clamshell-shaped mini handles and a larger sculpted chain looping over each side. The purse does have a thin opening, but it's immovable solid plastic.
Up next, we have Trendsetter Kishico. According to her online description, she is an internet star, creator, and a budding activist who loves to share her life with the world. Kishiko means child of the beach or seashore in Japanese, a perfect name for this stylish mermaid. Her inset eyes are robin egg blue with a hint of lavender at the center. Her eyeshadow consists of a layer of bluish lavender lining the fold of the eyelid. The rest of the eyeshadow has a shimmery blue, almost airbrush effect. There are white sparkles and stars painted above the eyelid and below the bottom painted lashes. Her eyebrows are a warm brown with an ombre effect and light brown hairlines throughout it. Kishiko has deep brown freckles dispersed throughout her forehead, cheeks, and chin. Her lips are painted a glossy bubblegum pink. Each of Kishiko's earrings consists of a large silver hoop attached to a smaller one. In each of the larger hoops holds a dangling plastic pink crystal. Kishiko has yarn-like hair material that we've seen before in Miss Royale from the LOL OMG Dance 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 line. Kishiko's hair is made up of several colors. The easiest way to describe it would be that her hair is split down the middle, with the left side predominantly light pink and the right side a great purple. There are streaks of hot pink, lavender, and navy blue mixed in. We are quite impressed with the amount of detail in her hairstyle and imagining the amount of work it takes a person to style it. The front is parted down the middle and topped with a twisted unicorn horn bun. French braids are tied from the front to the back and tied into 2 large pigtails. Each of the large pigtails are broken down further into 4 additional pigtails, 2 braided pigtails and 2 bubble ponytails. That's a total of 8 pigtails. There's minimal gel in her hair, just a tad on the tips to hold them together. Moving on to Kishiko's outfit, she has on an iridescent bomber jacket. The center of the jacket is a clear plastic with a holographic dot pattern. The sleeves are an iridescent white with a bubble sleeve design. The cuffs are ruffled. Underneath, she has on a light purple ruffle top with clear shoulder straps. Around her neck is a silver twerk necklace with dangling light green faux crystals. Kishiko's tail takes on an appearance of a tight-fitted mermaid skirt. You can see lines of seam work in the front and back of the tail. The thin portion looks like frilly fabric ends. There's a nice lavender to seafoam green gradient across her mermaid tail. She comes with a plastic cloud purse with a silver chain handle. Its design might be familiar to those who collected MGA's Poopsie Slime Surprise.
Alright, let's undress these two to get a closer look at their articulation points. Because they're designed for water play, both dolls have sparkly painted bralettes beneath their fabric fashions. Mermaid's dolls can move at the head, although we noticed horizontal movement left to right is easiest, their vertical tilt doesn't go very far. They can also bend their arms at the shoulders, elbows, and wrists. Like many MGA dolls, you can remove the hands with a gentle tug. We did notice the hands have an interesting, soft, rubbery texture to them. You can actually bend the fingers a bit. You'll get some of the most robust movement from their bust joint, which allows the doll's entire torso to tilt left to right. There's some movement at the waist as well by the start of the tail, but this is a bit restrictive. Mermaid's dolls don't come with stands, but as we mentioned earlier, their mermaid fins are articulated, and when bent at a full 90-degree angle, it allows the doll to stand on her own. This gets a little iffy on certain surfaces, however, especially with these girls' top-heavy hairdos. We'd recommend posing mermaids on completely solid, flat surfaces to avoid them toppling over.
Alright, let's check out how these mermaids play in the water. According to the doll's instruction manuals, different characters' tails may change color in warm or cold water, so you'll have to experiment to confirm which is which. It's also noted that, of course, their hairstyles may appear differently if submerged, so it's recommended to remove their tops and jackets prior to water play. MGA provided us with a cute iridescent tray to place the dolls in, so let's try out the color change. Through a little trial and error, we determined that Kishiko's tail turned a deep magenta to almost a purple color when exposed to cold water. Very cold water. We didn't notice much of a change until we added ice cubes. And the effect wore off pretty quickly when she isn't completely submerged. The temperature of the room you're in may have an impact on this as well. On this day of filming, it was a bit warm. As for Harmonique, we think her change is a bit more noticeable. And in this case, it requires warm water. Her fin transitioned to a vibrant silver following the color change. It looks pretty cool with tones of that deep blue still showing through. We've seen a lot of water play color change dolls in the past, including many of MGA's own LOL Surprise dolls. How do you guys think this one measures up? Let us know in the comments.
From here, we can jump into our final thoughts. So, like many other collectors, I was pretty hyped by the idea of MGA, known for its attention to luxe details, releasing a line of mermaid dolls, which, in the world of Playline, tends to cater directly to very young children. Mermaids finds itself in an interesting space that poses the question, does blending bits and pieces of what two different demographics want ultimately please both, or leave both sides a bit unsatisfied? I'd say in this case, the answer falls somewhere into a gray area. MGA's awesome foundational concepts are all in place for this brand. The face sculpts are striking and beautiful, definitely standing out among most Playline mermaids I've seen in recent history, and they come complete with the elevated Playline fashion sense, hairstyling, and detail we've come to expect from its partner brands. However, in terms of bang for your buck, I think a $32 to $34 price point will be a bit of a tough sell to parents just looking for a child's water play color change toy. I did also notice some very slight scuffing and paint imperfections on my Harmonique's fin. I don't know for sure whether this was there right away or happened over time, but something to be wary of. It's worth noting that although these dolls seem to be at least partially targeting older collectors, they aren't very posable below the torso, which limits options for photography and display, and the color change feature I think remains something very kid-oriented that won't be much of a value add for the other side. Of the two we reviewed today, I have to say they might actually be my personal favorites in the collection. Fans of Ariana or the modern pop star look in general will likely love Harmonique's aesthetic, and Kishiko is a perfect pairing with lovers of super cute Harajuku fashion and pastels. Given this is a new brand, it has plenty of opportunities to improve and evolve, and luckily, MGA has a history of listening to its consumers and implementing popular requests. Moving forward, I think improving lower body posability would go a long way, as well as generally honing in on this brand's identity and what it wants to focus on really excelling at. Whether that be luxurious mermaid fashion dolls for older collectors or whimsical water play for young ones, even if that means those styles of releases might have to separate. More recently, we have already seen that the new collector mermaids doll, Aura, has an added knee joint for more posability, so hopefully that could be the norm by Series 2. I can definitely say Mermaids will stay on my radar in the months to come, and I'm excited to see how it develops.
I echo Max's thoughts. The packaging is really nice, eye-catching, and unique. I appreciate the ability to touch a portion of the doll, though I hope they will consider in future releases of Mermaids to include an image of the production version of the doll rather than the hand-painted prototype version. It is a bit jarring to see the difference between the two, right there on the box. This is just a wish, and maybe this isn't what they're aiming for with this line, but I would love the possibility of the inclusion of a pair of human legs so you can switch with the mermaid tail. These are gorgeous dolls that I would want to be able to put in different scenarios outside of the water. Also, while I found Mermaid's dolls do stand on their own, as advertised, they do tend to be top-heavy because of their voluminous hair, and pose tilt forward slightly when displayed. I hope we can get actual stands so we can pose them in different ways, and not worry about them falling over. Seeing these dolls in person made me love them even more. I think despite their hefty price point, there's a lot of detail and craftsmanship that went into designing and producing mermaids. It still boggles my mind that Kishiko's hairstyle is so intricate. To think that someone had to do that for each doll in production, that's something I feel that we do not see in Playline products often. There's value here if you're interested in mermaids, and you get what you pay for. I also recommend waiting for a sale if you're a little shy to dip your toes into a new brand.
Thank you for joining us for this review. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to let us know what you think of Mermaze Mermaidz in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and check out our loads of other MGA doll playlists linked in the description below. Let us know what you want to see next on our channel, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!